Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports. We're going to do our weekly update on the Lions because we did our pregame earlier this week on Sunday. So a lot of stuff has changed. With me, we're going to nights working. I don't have as much time to catch up with everything. So luckily, I have a little time right now. When it comes to the Seahawks, there is a lot more injuries than I expected them to have going into this game. They're without Jamal Adams and without both their starting tackles. So that's going to be a pretty big miss for them against the Lions.
Right.
I expect the Lions to have no problem on defense with the fact that they are without their offensive tackles, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Lions-wise, the day before the game, Pascal got hurt this week. Decker got hurt this week. Ragnow is on the injury report, but he's kind of just, because of his toe, taking it easy. I don't think he's out for the game. And, of course, Mosley's still out, and then Dorsey's with an illness, so he might play tomorrow. But that's about it with the injury reports.
You said both their defensive tackles are out for Seattle?
Offensive tackles.
Offensive tackles, okay, that doesn't matter. But once again, Taylor Decker injured. I think it's his ankle. Guy's been injured quite a bit over these last few years, and just seems like he keeps missing more and more games. Josh Pascal, is this guy ever going to get a full season in? I mean, he missed all of last year, right?
Pretty much all. Most of last year, with I think a knee injury as well.
Yeah.
So he hurt his knee again.
And I understand Decker's he's getting older in the league. He's almost 30. So this is about the time when you're going to get all.
And this is why you got depth in the line. That's why you signed Glasgow.
Glasgow.
But Glasgow doesn't play tackle.
But Sorsdal is a rotational piece.
True.
So you have the ability to rotate a line.
Sorsdal in there this early.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready. Matt Nelson, people are critical of him, but
you're gonna be able to rotate.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing all week at practice. They've been rotating their offensive line, seeing what works best with who. So hopefully they figure it out by
Sorsdal might surprise you.
He might.
He's done well.
And then going with Pascal again, right? Him having his knee issues. I don't think they said it's anything serious. They just said he might be out.
I hope not, because he does have talent. The guy's he's a bright young prospect. Right. I was happy we got him in the draft last year, and I just want to see this kid play. I want to see what he can do, and
right, he does make plays. I mean, he looks like he has some valuable attributes, and he's not just some guy, a plug-in. He's actually a guy who can play at a high level and give us some big-time plays now and then. That being said, this is part of the NFL. These guys, every team deals with it. Every team is banged up to some degree.
Yeah.
And that's part of the equation. If you can get through the season relatively healthy, usually that bodes well and gets you in the playoffs. It's a battle of attrition, and it's always been that way.
Yeah.
So, there's no point in getting upset about it. Like I said, Seattle's missing both their offensive tackles. We should be able to take a big advantage of that.
Yes.
I expect them to have at least 3 sacks tomorrow, at least, and constant pressure on Geno Smith.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me is, like I said, the hype train here is so high, and everyone is just acting like this is a foregone conclusion. It's never a foregone conclusion.
It's not.
These guys got to come to play. They got to come. And Seattle, I don't care what anyone says, Pete Carroll is one of the best coaches in the league. He had a bad week last week. He's going to be prepared this week. He's going to have that team as ready as it can be, whether or not that's good enough. Because I happen to think, the crowd is going to be crazy. The atmosphere is going to be crazy.
Yep.
And I just don't want the Lions to get too caught up in it and lose their focus on this game.
Yeah.
Because I think if they put the effort in and they're focused on winning, I don't think we can lose this game.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that would hurt us is simply just being overconfident and not being ready to play. If they're ready to play, I don't see how Seattle can beat us.
Yeah. Seattle has 9 players that are on their injury report as of today. Jamal Adams and Devin Witherspoon, I think, are the biggest names I see on their defense that are hurt and likely going to be out for the game.
Yes.
So their secondary is going to be a problem for them during this game, most likely.
Yes.
Which is pretty good with Goff if you're trying to extend the field a little bit. he should have no problem. There is a defensive tackle and a couple linebackers hurt. I don't know. They actually have 3 linebackers hurt on their roster. So their linebackers aren't doing too good either if they're on their 3rd and 4th string linebackers.
Right. And this is a game, as Ed well knows from years of watching him. This is a game that'll further prove that they're not the same old Lions, because the same old Lions would lose a game that they're supposed to win, that they're almost guaranteed to win. In the past, if you thought that, it was almost a sure thing that they would lose that game. And so this is another chance for us to show this is not the same old Lions, which I know is a big topic out there right now. They're the younger fans like you, Harold, are upset with the fans like us who are not quite bought in yet, but are getting there. I'm certainly encouraged. I mean, I certainly see a difference, and I wanted to keep it going. And this is a type of game where we should win, and so I want it. Let's do it.
Well, I don't want to be considered a hater, so in the comments,
we're not.
Don't call me a hater, but I did at the beginning of the season pick them to lose this game, and I hope I'm wrong. But like Mike said, I know this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs in almost 10 years.
Yeah,
right.
And they went 1-6 in their first 7 games last year. They sucked. That defense sucked. Do we think things are different? Absolutely.
Sure.
But don't just assume because how we played against Kansas City that Seattle's just going to come in here and lay down. They're a good team. They got a great receiving core. Geno Smith is an elusive, good quarterback. Don't blow these guys off. If we lose, don't hit the panic button. Okay, it's just a game.
That Kansas City game was not some beautiful work of art or anything. It was a piece of crap game that we happened to make less mistakes.
90% of that game was bad football on both parts.
Our offense was not good.
Rust off of themselves.
It was just that Kansas City's offense was even worse. They dropped ball after ball after ball after ball. And the Lions defense played well. They did play well. They stopped the run. And for the most part, but they were helped out a lot too. So let's see how it looks this Sunday. I'm predicting I'm going to be positive 35-10 Lions.
And it's, with looking at their injury report, it looks like it could go that way. And if they can get by this week, they really don't have a difficult game.
35-10. I'm thinking. What do you think?
It's going to be a decent score.
24-21 Lions.
Wow, that's
put
close.
It that way.
No, I think they'll at least be up by a touchdown. Maybe it'd be 28-21.
I can't see them blowing out Seattle, even if it's at home.
I'm just saying.
And I hope you are right.
If they come to play, and with that crowd and the way Geno Smith played last week, I'm hoping that, and with the injuries, like I said, I'm counting everything. Seattle looks like garbage right now, but Pete Carroll can do wonders with garbage if he knows it. So there is a chance, like I said, but losing this game would be a big disappointment to me because I think they have to.
And Lions fans, we hit the panic button easily. Like I said, if they lose tomorrow, even if they lose,
and then they play. Who do they play the following week after this?
So after this week, like I said, if you could beat Seattle this week, your schedule really isn't difficult until you go and face Baltimore. I would say you can win almost every game up until Baltimore, and that would be your difficult
Green Bay the following week.
I believe, we have our Thursday night game coming up after
Sunday game.
No, not after this week. Next week we play the Falcons at home.
That'll be tough.
At home, I think you can beat the Falcons easily.
They have okay.
And then you have your Thursday game against the Packers. That would finish out your month of September. You could finish out the first month 4-0. You could finish out the first
Monday night
3-2.
game going into October, right?
No.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
No, you got the Panthers, then the Bucks, then the Ravens, and then the Monday night game.
Wow. Oh, I thought the Monday night game was earlier. Okay.
All winnable games.
But watch the Falcons this Sunday. They're a team I'm really interested in watching, and we'll pregame that next week.
But when you look at, like I said, if you win the next week, you could go through the month 4-0. You could technically go 6-0 up until you get J-Mo back.
I think you could. And you should go 7-0 because there's no way you should lose to Baker Mayfield. No, I don't give a crap. Guy sucks.
That would be your 6th game. You get J-Mo back for the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think we could do
so.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. You could go 6-0 into the Ravens. That would be an interesting
But
game.
as far like for tomorrow,
but we also, like I said, this is a fun season because I have no clue what this is going to be. Green Bay looks better than they should. Minnesota, whatever you want to say, they're 0-2, but they should have beaten Philadelphia last night. They look good losing to Philadelphia last night or the other night. So this division is not a given yet.
Well, one thing I do also want to touch on, as we've been talked about how the crowd is going to be, the fact of ski masks are going to probably be everywhere in that stadium. Is going to be hilarious.
I think it sends a bad message, but in a way, I think it's funny. You know, are they wearing this the whole time?
Probably not, but they might. But if you think it's promoting violence or anything, you're just dumb. I'm just gonna say that.
I don't know if it's promoting violence, but it certainly gives you the image of a bad image of Detroit. What is a ski mask? What do you wear for? You might as well wear pantyhose over your face and say you're going to rob someone's house or something like that.
I'll have to see it in person. I'll have to see how it's handled.
I might be overreacting.
Because, like I said, half of me thinks it's hilarious, and the other half thinks, maybe
who the hell's going to wear one of those
bad
things
PR move.
It's going to be hotter than hell to wear one of those things.
I doubt they're going to. I believe the idea that's going to come with it, from what I've heard, is it's going to be like a turnover thing.
Oh, okay.
They're going to have a ski mask on the sidelines for the Lions themselves. Whoever has to turnover will wear the mask. And maybe they'll just get worn for turnovers eventually, and not in a whole game.
Just win a football game. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But listen, it's as much as everyone hates it, it's somewhat a good thing too, because it builds something to work around. It's culture-wise. It's going to be something to get behind. Yes, it looks terrible because you guys are going to assume it's robber-wise, not
me. But
we'll see. I'll give it a chance.
These softy, sensitive people.
I'll give it a chance. I just think Detroit already has a bad.
We'll see how the rest of how it's
basically they're saying who cares.
Right, I guess, but
if you
win the games, like Ed said, that's all that matters.
Win
the games, no one gives a shit. That's
because
all you have to do.
If you start getting blown out, you might want to start wearing those masks so nobody knows who you are.
It's the same thing as respect. Who the freak cares? Win the game. Respect will come. Why do you care if someone respects you or not? Doesn't matter. Go play.
Outside of the Detroit area, there's a lot of people who still don't believe in this team.
Right.
And after one game and not making a playoff game in 10 years and starting 1-6,
and it's like
we suddenly think that we are Super Bowl bound, and let's just take it a game at a time.
But see, a lot of national fans kind of like this because we are the underdog. But if our fans act like a-holes and we start acting like jerks, and we saw some of that in Kansas City.
Yes, be nice.
That's going to end pretty quickly. We're going to make them sick of us pretty darn quick. And I think, like I said, it's kind of nice that we got almost nationwide support right now. Everybody kind of is getting on the Lions bandwagon. They love us on the Get Up Football or whatever that show is.
Yeah.
Every day we get a lot of positive stuff, and it's nice. And I just think this mask kind of takes away from that. There's just no reason for it.
You'll see that it won't have that much bad of a negative effect.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
But that's how it is. The only way it'll have a negative effect is if people are stupid.
Aside from this, back to what would you guys think the keys to the game are? If you're like Dan Campbell, what do you think you need to do most? I would say I'd like to see more of Montgomery and
they're gonna
just pound the ball.
They're probably gonna throw it more. I would expect a 50-50 with the secondary of Seattle being weak. Right, they lost two decent guys in their secondary, and their linebackers aren't really.
Still got to be able to run the football.
They're going to run the ball, but they're probably you're going to expect to see some throws.
That's our game plan. That's our bread and butter is running and pass action plays. So I mean, their offense is good that they can do either or, and I trust Ben Johnson to come up with a game plan and be able to adjust to see what the Seattle's trying to focus on stopping. I'm sure that they're going to try to stop probably the run first.
Yeah.
They had a good video from that I sent you guys on that Seattle podcast. And that's kind of what they were all just saying how good we block, how great our offensive line is.
And Laporta.
That's why it hurts
supposed to be one of his weaknesses.
Decker out.
Good.
That's why it hurts having Decker out.
That's
a hole.
But you're going to lose players now and then. It's very rare, especially offensive linemen. They go down like anything. I mean, nobody has an intact offensive line.
You never go through a full season unscathed.
Right.
But it just seems to be the same people every season.
We just got to hope guys like Matt Nelson can come in for a game and do the job. I heard a lot of negativity about him. I don't know why he
didn't have the greatest preseason.
Team. Well, why?
No backup offensive lineman had the greatest preseason.
That's unfortunate.
It was terrible. But it's what's going to happen, right? You're going to get injuries on both sides of the ball. You just don't need your big guys getting hurt as often,
right?
But
it's a part of the game.
We hope can happen.
That's why we went out and got guys like Bridgewater and things to back up so that maybe we can win a game if we have some big guns go out. Right now, and I want to say, I expect, is it Josh Reynolds?
Yeah.
He's our leading receiver.
I expect him he does not get enough credit.
No, he does not. He's got great hands.
They always mention about 2 or 3 guys before him, and that guy is solid.
A big-bodied receiver who knows Goff well, played with
I think he's going to have a huge game on Sunday.
Yep. Well, with Williams out, somebody got to step up.
This might be for another video, but I keep hearing the Mike Evans, Chase Young to Detroit.
It's just talking points.
Well,
it's not going to happen.
Going to be both of them, but I'd like to see. Evans would be.
He wants too much money, but if you could work it out with him, if that ever did happen, it means they're having problems with Jameson Williams.
Like I've mentioned before in our Mike Evans video, don't sign him. You trade for him, you let him walk. That's what you do. You don't put your money into.
Oh, I agree with that. He's a rental.
He wants too much money.
You let him walk. Put your money towards St. Brown or Williams, whoever you feel like.
But if the Bucks win this week, they're not going to be
4 years, $85 million, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But anyways,
let's
enjoy the game tomorrow.
Yes.
Go behave yourself, guys.
Yes. Don't be upset if they lose this game. It's just one game. And let's go Lions.
Right. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, share the video. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.